Welcome by For the Passion, Not the Fashion, the YouTube channel. We are here with Dave Overkill from the mighty Destructor.
All right.
Destructor. Look, can you? Who are you, by the way?
I'm the little guy underneath Matt there on your. If you're looking at the picture on the right hand side.
Right hand side. Ah, yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
This is the original Auburn press, I think. Yeah.
Excellent. Yes. Unless it says Roadrunner.
Yes, and this is the repress of a tape you Headsplit Records.
Yes. Yeah, that was nice to see that happen again.
Yes. Well, I'm gonna introduce you a little bit. Dave Overkill from the legendary speed cult band Destructor from Ohio, right?
Hello. Yes, correct.
Okay.
I don't know about legendary and all of that, but from Ohio.
You're a notorious cult band. Anyway, I go start directly. It's really something. By the way, all viewers, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to everybody.
Because
this is the very first day of the year.
Yes, January 1st.
For me, it's 3:08 p.m. right after lunchtime.
Okay, this is your first. It's really for us. It's evening, and for you, it's afternoon. But
yes.
We really started January 1st now. Okay, cool. Prost. Oh, here's a wine. I have a beer.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And I have Jaeger too. Are you guys thirsty? I'll give you something.
Oh yeah, come. Okay, cool. Okay, hey Dave, please tell me how are things going, and please introduce yourself to our viewers.
Thank you. My name is Dave Overkill. I'm from the band Destructor, and we've been in existence since 1984.
84.
So I think it's about 36 years. I don't know. I need a calculator.
Oh yeah.
But a long time, and things are going really good for us. We have a new record. We're about halfway through it. It's called Blood, Bone, and Fire, and we hope to have a mid-2022 release, depending on how things go, because all of the factories and all of the products that people want to get made are all backlogged. So, but the good thing is that we have the product. We're very happy about it. We'll probably be doing a video for it as well. And we just keep on carrying on. There's no stopping us at this point. It's for the love of
for the passion and not the fashion.
That's right.
Okay. Hey, Dave, maybe a little bit too fast, but I like to know, you have a new record coming out, and is it a self released, or is it on a label, or which label you have signed? Are you signed?
So currently we've been working with Reaper Metal Productions, which is an offshoot, if you will, from Hell's Headbangers.
Yeah, I know.
It's located here in Ohio.
Yes, so, American label, yeah.
Yeah, Craig Horville is the boss and of this label, and we did the reissue of Sonic Bullet and also of the Maximum Destruction Skull Splitting Edition and the vinyl, and we plan on doing the new Destructor with him as well.
Oh wow. Yeah, they're a great label. I would love to trade with them again. They have great stuff. But as shippings to America and to Europe, it's insane.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I had to turn down a couple of people recently because they wanted to purchase a T-shirt.
Yeah.
And the shirt is maybe worth $15, $20, and the shipping was $25. So
yeah,
I feel bad about charging somebody that much.
Yeah, but that's the price they have to pay, because it's impossible that you pay the European customers free T-shirts. Yeah. Hey, you were formed in 1984 in a small town in Ohio, right?
Yes.
How was it all started?
So obviously we're metal fans. We grew up in the 70s and listening to Ted Nugent and Aerosmith and Kiss and Stars, The Gods, these type of bands that we were exposed to, along with older 70s music. I was always a big fan of Southern rock and those kind of genres as well. You know, Ricky Medlock is a hero to me. So, but it was just a natural progression. We got out of high school, we started playing together, and in a garage, in a basement. And then once we graduated from high school, and we had jobs, we can afford a rehearsal studio. So we all pitched in, equal amount of money so that we could have this place that we go to, and we practice and make noise and drink beer and get crazy and wild, because you couldn't do that in your parents' basement, of course,
Yeah.
But that was really the beginning of everything in like 1983, right after we graduated from high school, and it just progressed from there.
Wow. I give you the word now to my friend Maurice, all the way from Düsseldorf, Germany.
Maurice, how are you?
The city of Doro and Wallach, by the way, and Warrant, and great metal city in Germany.
That's great. And of course, I love Doro. She's a fantastic person.
Good. 1 second. Make the set up here. Okay. Yeah. So hi again.
How are you?
Nice to meet you, my friend. Very cool. Hope you too. And it's good to have the first of January first interview, 2022 with you guys. Very cool.
Yeah.
So actually, I'm from Düsseldorf, and I started in the mid '80s too, listening to heavy metal, and Doro, Warlock was my hometown when it all started. So for me, it's always a
that's pretty amazing
scene in Germany. Absolutely. Yeah. So now getting on, actually, right now I think you are with Matt, the drummer, the only original members.
Yes, that's
in
correct.
Destructor, and okay, cool. And so please introduce us to the current band. Who else joined, and what are they up to now?
So our bass player is Tim Hammer.
Mm-hmm.
He also plays with the band Wretch and has been a Cleveland musician for a long time. He's a great bass player.
Mm-hmm.
He's been with us for close to 10 years now. Nick Annihilator, he's the boss of the band Wretch. He worked with us for 10 years and he left last year. And so we have a new guy whose name is Howard. We dubbed him Dragon. And he comes from Cleveland as well. So we still have the same theme, the same vibe, the same nucleus. Sometimes the landscape changes ever so slightly, but we're really, really happy that the product that we have and the songs that we have coming forward are going to tell everybody Destructor is still here.
Perfect. Yeah, sounds good. So when we mentioned already a bit, when actually did you get involved in heavy music for the first time, and what was the first band that you heard and maybe was like, wow, this is what I want to do?
Wow, that's a tough question. I don't know, in the 70s, and obviously that was before the golden age of heavy metal and the beginning of thrash that happened in the 80s, but some of the best music happened in the 70s. The Scorpions, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden in the late 70s. I grew up with Ted Nugent and Aerosmith and a lot of these kind of bands. Heavy metal was, as we know it, was just a natural progression from there to the next point where Metallica and Anthrax and all of these bands took it to a different level. And we were doing nothing different than that. We were just fans of music, heavy music, hard rock, and we were playing it on a different level.
Totally. And So actually, when did you decide to actively become a musician? And was Destructor your first band, or did you have anything before that?
So I wanted to become a musician probably at the age of 12 or 13. I knew that this is something I wanted to do. Destructor was something that after high school, we had a bunch of bands and various members. Most of us in Destructor graduated from Euclid High School in 1982, with the exception of Matt, who was 8 years older than us. And we didn't meet Matt until 1984. But so before that, it was always a group of, 3 here, 2 there, so on. Everybody's just sort of jamming and then getting together. And once we got out of high school, we said, hey, we have to start a real band. And some of us from those groups decided we're going to participate and pay rent. And everybody that shows up is kind of in the band at that point, that's how you qualify. And then after that, it's like, how talented are you? How well do we get along? And all of those other things. So it's very experimental and also a natural evolution on how things work.
Perfect. So going into first recordings, what can you tell us actually about the Bring Down the Hammers? It's a 3-song rehearsal demo cassette from '85, I think. It seems this tape was traded by you guys before Maximum Destruction was available, or how was it exactly?
So
the Bring Down the Hammers.
All we had was practice, rehearsal, recordings on a boombox or something very, very primitive, and that's how the first demos start. That's how all the bands start to trade. But Bring Down the Hammers, Iron Curtain, and Blackest Night, I think, were the very 3 first Destructor songs ever. Before we ever started to record anything, that was like, all right, we wrote 3 songs. Let's keep going,
Mm.
And those songs actually evolved out of bands that came before Destructor in basement recordings and jam sessions with our friends.
Okay. Perhaps it's always a great thing, jamming with friends and stuff doing cool. And please tell us something about your discography in general, and what would you say maybe is your favorite Destructor album, and why is that?
Tough questions. I don't know. Being one of the main songwriters, I don't have a favorite. Obviously, Maximum, for the time period, it's a time capsule of what was happening right then in our world, and we were able to capture that, and it still resonates, and we're thankful for that. Forever in Leather, I think, was a great record, and I also think that Decibel Casualties was a great record. So
they all are, yeah.
I'm thinking that if anybody likes those 2 records out of our fan base, this next one, Blood, Bone, and Fire, is going to kick your ass.
For sure. So actually, that's just connected to the next question. Actually, your most recent albums are from 16 and 17. And how was the feedback in the press by that time, or 5 years ago? And what can we expect from the new album coming up next?
Well, all good questions. Things were received really, really well with the last 2 records. If it wasn't for COVID, and that goes for so many thousands of bands, who knows, we might be at a different place right now in our career. But regardless, Destructor are really, really happy to still have a piece of whatever pie that we have in this metallic world, and we're willing to keep on going until we're unable to. I think the important thing is the other records were received really, really well. The most important thing to me right now is that if another record with Destructor's name is going to come out on it, you better be willing to, as a band, put together the best material that you think in your mind that you've ever put together. And that's all we can do. And I think that with that mentality and the production and the quality of the songs that we've written so far, I think we're going to be able to deliver on that without being overly confident.
Great. We're looking forward to it, definitely.
Yeah.
And actually, you come, as you said before, you come from the Ohio region. So actually, how was your scene in that region in the 80s compared to, LA and New York, or the Bay Area and New York? How was Ohio in the 80s, and what is it about now for hard at music and heavy metal?
Yeah. So actually in the late 70s and the early 80s, the Cleveland metal scene was doing really, really good. Hard rock scene, alternative scene, a lot of things were happening. And it was well attended by people that would come from all different parts of the city. So it was a vibrant, happening scene. Throughout the 80s, it was the same. If you were a cover band, nobody wanted to hear you. They wanted to hear original music. You had so many good bands, Breaker and Shock Paris and Black Death, and then you throw Destructor in there, and then you have Purgatory, and all of this stuff that was culminating was received so well. And I don't think that you can take away from the fact that when the 90s came, the grunge wave came and it kind of quelled what was going on. But it also, for us, when we lost Dave Holocaust on New Year's Eve on 1988, the very next 2 years, the scene changed completely. And there was a different landscape.
Sure.
And I think that nowadays, there's still always new bands, young bands and stuff that are coming up that are really talented, that still have a lot to offer. And Cleveland still is a scene that you want to keep an eye on. It will never be as big as an LA scene or a New York scene, but in a lot of ways, it can be better.
Yeah, totally. Great. So I switch again to Marco, to my boss, and I think I will come back later again
Take the
with
money.
a few questions, but now we share a bit. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. See you later in a minute.
So, well, hey, Dave, welcome back.
Marco.
Hey, I do like four more questions, and then my slave he will make the rest with you. And okay, yeah, he's here for holiday, and then I said, well, join me to the interview with Dave together.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Hey,
Are we still right now?
sorry?
Are we still taping right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
Hey.
no questions afterwards.
You have questions afterwards.
Yeah.
Oh no. Anyway, hey, you guys. Wait a moment. You come from the Ohio region, yeah? Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry. In 2007, you released a split 7-inch with the band Nonslaughter.
We did.
Yes, the noisy band from your area. But I love them, yeah, of course. Hey, we're coming from the same area. Hey, are you guys befriended? And have you ever gigged together with those guys?
So, to answer your first question, is we've been friends with them for years.
Cool.
I was personal friends with Jim Kanya, the drummer. He was a person that supported every band in Cleveland, and was always super friendly. He was one of the best human beings you'll ever want to meet. And then Don is a personal friend of mine as well.
Yeah.
Have we gigged with them? I'll have to think back, maybe once or twice, but not often. But the fact that we had this connection and we thought, let's just do something together.
Nice.
It's weird because in Europe, a lot of people thought, like, when a dog hears a whistle, they're like, why are these two bands doing something together? But
why not?
The connection is very strong.
For the passion of the fashion.
Yeah, yes, exactly. And I personally love those guys. Great bands.
Yeah. And that's something I really like, because I think metal is such a wide spectrum of music, wide range of music, and like he
is.
wears a Kicks t-shirt, I wear a Cloven Hoof shirt, you wear a Maiden shirt, whatever. Heavy metal, yeah. I I think it's stupid to be close-minded, and if music is good, it's good.
I agree.
Yeah. Hey, that's the that one with Non-Slaughter. Maybe you'd like to tell something more about Non-Slaughter. We don't know, because we love the band, and everybody in Europe, they are pretty big. You know that, especially.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Noah, the guitar player from Nonslaughter, is the engineer at the studio, Mercenary Recording Studios in Cleveland. He's recorded everybody, like 3 Midnight Records.
Oh.
Yeah, and he's doing the new Destructor record.
Mm-hmm.
So him, along with Sean Vanek, they're great engineers. And so that's like another Nonslaughter connection. But I don't know, I'm losing track of time, but maybe 9 years ago, 10 years ago, we did this little mini tour. Jamie from Midnight was in the band,
Uh-huh.
and we went over to pick up Don, and Don went with us for a couple of cities and just hung out because he didn't have anything to do. And that's one of the times when you get to spend quality time with a person in bond.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget that. That was a great time.
Oh, great. Hey, and musically, what are your biggest influence, musically and lyrically?
Mm. Honestly, Marco, I listen to so many different kinds of music.
Yeah.
I listen to ambient music. I listen to hardcore. I listen to punk. I listen to classic metal. I listen to 70s hard rock. So one thing at my age is I've been able to compartmentalize. Is that right? I think so. When I'm writing ideas, this will fit for this. This will fit for this. This will fit for this, and so on. So I'm able to sort of pick and choose. But the creativity, as long as I sit down with a bass or a guitar or my keyboard or something or a drum, I'm always creating. And I know where, if it's something that I think is going to be a keeper, I know where to plug it in.
Yeah.
And as a songwriter, I think that's kind of key, because there's always so many things funneling into your brain. I love this, I love this, I love that. But I don't sit down and think, in order to write the new Destructor song, I have to come up with this or that or whatever. To contradict that, the only thing that I've told myself for this next record is it better be fucking heavy as hell in thrashing and to the point. And with those 3 points, that's how I've sort of written the landscape.
And if I'm right, Destructor is true metal to the bone, and I think, I hope, and I also guess the production and everything will sound old school, right?
Yes, yeah, and there's nothing modern about this, man.
That's why. Yeah.
We know our place, and we don't have any dreams or hopes of aspirations of being something gigantic. We want to deliver what you think, what we all feel is the Destructor experience, and that comes with a good production.
Yes. Hey, and could you please tell us about the song Destructor that was featured in the 2012 film Metal Maniac, and how did this happen?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No?
No, never heard about this.
Oh, I found it. I did some research, and that was something wrote that's on it. That I did research, and
It's
oh my
news to
god.
me.
Well, I sent you the link. I tried to send you the link, but I was doing some research about some special things to ask, and there was something that Destructor was featured in the 2012 film Metal Maniac. Maybe someone used it without telling you.
It's entirely possible. I would love to see that. And I'm not totally offended by that. That it's kind of flattering, but
Yeah. Well, we go find out because this is
yeah.
we thought it was so this is like a hoax probably. I don't know. Hey,
Now we have a problem.
yes. So we found this on the internet and we said, well, let's find it out what it is because we also didn't know about that, but we found it on the internet. I said, let's ask about it. If it's in a movie, the song Destructor, that, yeah, well, anyway. Hey, and please tell me something about your live album. Cleveland was made for metal.
So that was a recording of our very first show that we did at, it was the downstairs of the Cleveland Agora. It was called the Pop Shop. We were opening up for a band called the Manimals at the time. And that really was just a board recording, nothing fancy. We listened back, and some of it is so funny when we listen to it, but it was good enough quality that we said, this can represent us as our first demo. So when we decided to put together Smash Your Skulls with Power demo, this little bit of the 4 or 5 songs that appear on there came from that show. And then years later, I had a friend that said, I would love to release that as a bootleg record. Can you get me the recordings? And I said, absolutely, why not?
Yeah.
Sounds like a great idea.
Yeah. Well, cool. And please share some cool road stories with us. Was it wild in the 80s? And what about now? I play you. Yes,
Road
a story.
stories now for guys our age, you go to the hotel and you go to sleep.
Yeah, yeah, but you can also tell how. I know you played in Europe, so you can tell what.
So we had a lot of great times over the years, staying in hotels, and there was this one time that we were touring with Purgatory in the United States.
Great band.
And the road crew was the same road crew for both bands because we were all like the same family. We're like, hey, you want to come? You want to come? And all these guys were very, very dependable, but they were all pranksters. They were all drunks, and at the same time, very, very professional when it came to the show. But
yeah,
we were all partying in the hotel room, and I went into the shower, and I came out. That's when I had hair. I came out and I had the big devil locks and a bunch of soap across my face. Yeah. And I came out and I started doing some some Misfits routine, and just singing a Misfits song. And one of the road guys picked me up and threw me out the door naked as I came out of the shower into the hallway. And there was one of the maids with the cart with all the toilet paper and the toiletries and everything standing there right in front of me, looking at me as I landed in the hallway completely naked. So
it was hilarious.
And then, of course, I was beating on the door like Fred Flintstone, like, Wilma, let me back in.
Wilma, yeah. Well, I give you the time now with my friend Maurice. We have some more questions, and maybe he can add something more. You have some more? Okay, cool. Hey, Dave, let's make like a goodbye together. But now I give the word to my German colleague, Maurice Schreiber.
All right.
Thank you very much. And
do I have enough time to go upstairs and get a beer and come back down?
Yes, that's okay. Then I make a drink too.
Can you see this?
Perfect. What is it? Oh, wow. Looks good. Hope it tastes good as well.
It's the Destructor beer.
Perfect. You have a beer too. Wow, that's cool.
I'll join you with the beer.
Cheers. Have some wine and
wish
some
best for
cola.
2022.
Totally. Same to you. Good. Yeah, where we stopped. You stopped some cool stories. No, you played actually one of the let's say not biggest but most influential true metal festival in Germany. That's a Keep It True festival.
Yes.
And you played it, I think, in 2008 or 9 or 7 or 8, I think, like 12, 13 years ago.
I think 2007. I think
7, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
So perfect. So yeah, how was your what do you think? How was your experience, your journey at the Keep It True festival?
It was great. It was really, really great. I mean, every show is what you make of it, right? You could play a show with 10,000 people and it could be okay, or you could play a show that's smaller, 500, 700, 600, 700. It may be the best show ever. A lot of them all have their separate qualities and why I like them. That show was a showcase of, to me, the fans. All the people that I met there were like, I'm from Mexico, I'm from Brazil, I'm from the Netherlands, I'm from Germany, I'm from Italy, I'm from America. It was in Canada. It was mind-blowing.
Totally,
And
yeah.
that is such a beautiful thing that can't be underestimated, that how all of those festivals can bring everybody together, big or small, regardless. Yeah, I've played Wacken twice. It's a
I see the
great
patches. I see the patches. I noticed your 2 patches. Cool.
it,
Great.
it's a great festival. As a fan of metal, yes, it's absolutely something that you should have an experience with. Will it be your favorite? I don't know. I'm not you, you're not me, but all of those things are great experiences, and that's all I can say about that.
Totally. Wacken is great. It's huge, and I think as a metal fan, you have to be in Wacken at least one time to see it. But for me personally, and I think for Marco too, it's just too big. It's getting a bit out of hand. But Keep It True is still what it is, what it used to be, what it's meant to be, and that's makes it really special, I think. So
I agree.
It's something different. And Headbangers Open Air as well, and some more little festivals. They are around, especially in Europe, and in Greece too. Yeah, Greece too. Yeah. So yeah, that's cool. And maybe who knows? Maybe we'll come back to Keep It True if it will take place in 1 or 2 or 3 years. I don't know again, but maybe would be cool. Great. Okay. Well, actually, coming back, of course, a bit to the darker side of life. We have 2 members of the band who passed away through all the years. The tragic story of Dave, we all know, your bass player, who was stabbed in '88, very early young age, and then Pat Rabbit, who died in 2018, I believe. Maybe not to go too much into personal or deep things, but maybe about some remembering stories about those 2 guys, what happened maybe, and of course we have a big cheers to these guys in remembrance, because they were a big part of the band through all the years, and what happened was, of course, tragic in both cases. And maybe you can tell us a little bit about that and how you dealt with that, what happened, in fact.
First off, thank you for recognizing them, and it means a lot. Today was an emotional day for me, as every New Year's Day is.
Exactly, exactly.
I listened to a lot of Beatles music today. Just something special. When we were in high school, he was like, "You need to listen to some Beatles." I'm like, "You need to listen to some Motorhead." and that's kind of how the bond of Dave Ianica and I grew. Pat, I've known since 5th grade, and I miss Pat a lot. I miss both of the guys a lot. They were equal contributors to the band. Pat for a longer time, obviously. Dave Ianica died at the age of 23. And I think Pat was 54, something like that.
Young too, yeah, kind of young too.
But I don't know what to say. It's such a integral part of what we still are and why we still do this, because we have an honor and a dedication to ourselves and also the people that were with us that are no longer here, that we're able to continue on with integrity and holding the flag high and saying, until the end, we are Destructor.
Totally, totally. In memory, and yeah, they were a big part, each of them, and actually about Dave, what happened? I think you were not on the scene when it happened. I think it was a private party or something. But can you tell us maybe something about that evolved?
Honestly, it's not something that I care to talk about in any detail.
Okay, sure. Understand. Yeah. Anyway, we remember them, and as a big part of the band, the evolution of the band, and yeah, again, cheers to them, to Destructor, and it will move on. Great. Yeah. So coming back to yeah, into just normal things. What is your daily? Looks your daily life like these days? What are you doing for a living? Let's say, and yeah, what is your?
We're like a gossip magazine.
we are a gossip magazine. In fact.
So my day-to-day life is far less glamorous as that. But I work in a wholesale seafood distribution firm that is based in Cleveland, Ohio. And what we do is we buy fresh and frozen seafood from around the world, and we distribute it in probably like a 4-state area. And my job is for government regulations and also food safety. That's the most important thing that my job revolves around, because people that consume food can get sick.
Yeah, sounds interesting. Yeah. So control of food, great. And actually, are you married? Do you have children? You have a normal family life?
I'm married to my wife Katie for 9+ years now.
Nice.
And I have a son from a previous marriage. He's 23. His name's Hunter. He's a musician as well.
Hey, what kind of music does he do?
Plays drums right now. So
great. What style of music is it?
Pop wind and Motorhead and music like this.
Great. Perfect. I have a little boy too. He's 8 years old now, and he starts playing around, and he's very fascinated by Mike Portnoy, and he was drum like Portnoy, and I'm like, this is good. Go ahead, man. Perfect. It's good to have a family and who shares the generational thing. That's cool. Yeah, actually, coming back to music, essentially, what would you say are your 3 top records of all time that you totally like? Desert Island, 3 records to take with you, and why is that? I know it's a tough question, but
talk about putting somebody on the spot. That's a tough question. It really is.
Maybe what immediately comes to your mind?
Motorhead, Overkill.
Perfect.
Iron Maiden, A Number of the Beast.
Great.
And I can't name the third one. I don't know, because I want it to be something completely different from that. But
let's keep it the other way. You usually have the guys who are the Kiss fans. You have the guys who are the AC/DC fans. What are you? More AC/DC or more Kiss?
Equally both, but I love Kiss.
Okay. But I love Kiss, so I think it's more AC/DC maybe. Great, perfect. Good. So yeah, what actually your future plans musically? Your new album will come out maybe sometime soon, as we heard. And would you like to come back to Europe if possible for a little tour?
To Europe. So one of the things that we've confirmed so far for this year, since it's 2022, is Destructor are going to go to Mexico City and play a show. And I've been working with somebody to try to do some South America shows as well. But Europe is always someplace that we would love to come back to. As you may know, I also have another band called Vulgar Devils. And Matt and I are the members of that band. And that album is just about done. And that's going to come out this year with the video too. So that's a project that I started when Destructor wasn't happening at the time. And I wanted something that was going to be all my own that nobody could take away.
Good.
And it kind of turned into something. So we're going to continue.
Perfect. The band name is Vulgar Devils. And what kind of style would you describe what you're doing with that band?
The Vulgar Devils have been described, not by me, but in a review as Motorhead and Kiss had a baby.
Okay. Okay. Sounds not too bad. Great. So we were looking forward to that as well. Yeah, actually, we are coming to the end, I think. As the last question, we always give the word to you. Is there any last word you would spread to tell to the fans, to anybody? It's up to you.
Yeah. So first off, I would just like to say thank you to both of you guys. It's freaking awesome. We're still able to do this, and there's still people that are interested in it and that love it. There seems to be no end, and heavy metal will never die as long as there's the people, the faithful like us. Absolutely.
Great stuff.
Secondly, if it wasn't for the general fans, we wouldn't even be talking. So we are fortunate. All of the bands are fortunate enough to have an audience still. And as long as there's an audience still, and I'm healthy enough to do this, Destructor and Vulgar Devils are going to keep on making records. And our hope is to be able to travel, come and see and play and experience and do what we all set out to do when we were 12 years old.
Yeah. You're all a bit like, you always tell, we are, I don't know, 50, nearly 50.
Feel 40.
But we still feel like 15, 16 sometime, and that's good. You're still the rebels, some way. I think that's good.
Yeah.
How it should be.
Thank you. And it's always for the
passion, not the fashion.
Exactly.
The passion.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
Share and subscribe
now.
Right.
Great. Thank you so much for your time, Dave, on the first day of the new year. This is really something special. The first day of the new year, we have a brilliant, great 1 hour talk, and we appreciate it. And take care, stay healthy. And maybe sometime soon we will see each other at a concert. We drink a beer together, really.
No lemonade.
All the best for 2022 and the future.
Thank you. Thank you to you and your family.
A healthy 2022.
Yes, absolutely.
Perfect.
Prost.
See you. Prost.
Ciao.
Ciao.